Kody and Robyn Brown waited for laws to run out to let Meri go. Sister Wives stars, Kody and Robyn Brown seem to have diabolical plans that they watched play out in the Brown plural family demise. At times, they seem to be manipulating separately, and other times they work as a team. Fans spot where they craftily waited for laws to run out before they cut Meri Brown loose from the marriage. Robyn and Kody Brown had a plan. Although Sister Wives stars, Meri and Kody Brown have been legally divorced since 2014, they were still spiritually married until 2023. Kody was helping Meri move on what would have been their 33rd anniversary. In the latest episode of Sister Wives, fans got even more information about Meri's legal divorce that makes them believe Kody and Robyn were scheming. Notably, Meri agrees that the legal divorce was their escape plan. Notably, Robyn Brown says it was all Meri Brown's idea to allow her to legally marry Kody so he could adopt her kids, Dayton, Aurora, and Brianna Brown, from her previous marriage. However, Cristin Brown-Woolley says Robyn was planting the seeds all along. She said Robyn talked about how wives would legally divorce to allow other wives to have their kids adopted. Although Robyn says she has never heard of such a thing, fans connect that it was the plot in a storyline from Big Love. While some people theorize that Kody and Robyn kept Meri around to bring in money for the family, there are signs it might be something else that motivated the long goodbye to the plural marriage. But more than that, fans think Robyn and Kody plotted to wait until Meri couldn't retaliate. Kody dismisses the idea the divorce was a plot. During the latest episode, Kody Brown makes light of the idea he was purposely giving Robyn Brown the head wife role. He casually talks after the divorce it was a night of giving Meri a special ring and having dinner, and even alludes to the marriage didn't change because they probably went home together. On Reddit, Sister Wives fans discuss how Kody Brown was biding his time to leave Meri Brown. First, a user points out, when Kody said that he and Meri probably went home and made love after they left the lawyer's office after doing the legal divorce, I realized one thing. Kody just throws stuff out there to see whether or not it sticks. Having intercourse with your spouse is a physical event. There's no probably about it. Intercourse either happened or it did not. Then the Redditor continues, I realize he was trying to make a larger point that as far as he was concerned, the legal divorce was just a paperwork shuffle. I hate when he uses that term, and in his view, nothing was going to change between him and Meri. But by saying we probably went home and made love, it seemed he was just trying to throw something out there, whether it was true or not, to see if it would stick. It's really disgusting on his part. Kody and Robyn Brown waited for laws to run out to let Meri go. After the initial post, Sister Wives fans point out that Robyn and Kody Brown most likely had an ulterior motive for dragging Meri along. One user states, had to keep her around. As a former legal wife, she could have taken him to court. They had to let the statute of limitations run out on that. Only then did they let her leave. Another user adds, yes, I didn't even think of that. It makes the people who said Robyn was involved with the catfish sound more legit. Someone else adds, I believe she was. It was her friend who was involved with it, and I believe said she knew Sam, but it's been a while since I've taken a dive into this subject, so I'm not recalling all the information I once knew. But it made me think Robyn was definitely involved. The air in Flagstaff was cool and crisp as Kody Brown sat in the living room of the sprawling house he shared with Robyn. His golden curls were slightly disheveled, a stark contrast to the confident facade he always presented to the world. Robyn was seated across from him, her expression a mix of concern and determination. The topic of their conversation was one they had danced around for months, Meri. Kody, Robyn began, her voice soft but firm, we can't keep living like this. It's not fair to anyone, especially not Meri. We have to face the facts. Kody sighed heavily, running a hand through his hair. You think I don't know that? It's just complicated. You know how much history we have. And the legal stuff, I don't want to do anything that could come back to bite us. Robyn leaned forward, her dark eyes locking onto his. The legal stuff is over, Kody. The statute of limitations ran out last month. We're in the clear. If we're going to make a clean break, now is the time. The statute of limitations. It was a phrase that had haunted their conversations for years. When Kody and Meri's legal marriage had been dissolved so he could marry Robyn and adopt her children, it had seemed like a pragmatic solution. But as their relationship continued to crumble, Meri had remained in the family, her role ambiguous and increasingly strained. Legally, there was nothing binding them anymore, but the emotional and spiritual ties had proven much harder to sever. Kody's brow furrowed as he thought back to the early days of his marriage with Meri. They had been so young, so full of hope. But somewhere along the way, their connection had eroded, replaced by resentment and distance. He had always told himself that their struggles were just part of the plural marriage experience, but deep down, he knew the truth. They had grown apart, and there was no going back. "What about the family?" Kody asked, his voice tinged with hesitation. "How are they going to take it if we make this official?" Robyn's lips pressed into a thin line. "Kody, the family has already seen the writing on the wall. Janelle and Cristin have their own lives now. They're not going to be surprised, and honestly, they might even be relieved. Everyone's tired of pretending that things are fine when they're not." Kody nodded slowly, her words sinking in. He knew she was right. Cristin had already left, carving out a new life for herself and finding happiness with David Woolley. Janelle had become fiercely independent, focusing on her children and her own journey. And Meri? Well, Meri had been walking her own path for years, even if she hadn't officially left the fold. "You think Meri will be okay with this?" Kody asked, his voice tinged with doubt. Robyn's expression softened. "I think Meri has been waiting for this as much as we have. She deserves a chance to find happiness, Kody. We all do." The words hung in the air between them, heavy with meaning. Kody knew that Robyn's desire to end things cleanly wasn't born out of malice. She genuinely wanted what was best for everyone, even if it meant making difficult decisions. But that didn't make the prospect any less daunting. As the days turned into weeks, Kody and Robyn began to take steps toward officially cutting ties with Meri. They met with lawyers to ensure everything was handled properly, and they started having honest conversations with the rest of the family. It was a delicate process, but one that felt increasingly necessary as time went on. Meri, for her part, seemed to sense that a change was coming. She had always been intuitive, and the tension in the family was impossible to ignore. When Kody and Robyn finally sat down with her to discuss their decision, she met them with a quiet grace that surprised them both. "I've known this was coming," Meri said, her voice steady. "And honestly, I think it's the right thing. We've all been holding on to something that doesn't exist anymore. It's time to let go." Kody felt a pang of guilt as he looked at her. Meri had been his first wife, his partner in building their family. Letting her go felt like the end of an era, but it also felt like the beginning of something new. For all of them. The conversation was bittersweet, filled with tears and memories of the life they had shared. But there was also a sense of relief, as though a weight had been lifted from their shoulders. They all knew that this was the best path forward, even if it wasn't an easy one.